All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Well, I sent out a tips and tricks Tuesday pre-email yesterday on Monday with a form I want you guys to fill out. And if you have already done the form, awesome. This handout had a list of descriptive personal traits that I wanted you to go through and see which one best fits who you are. So if you notice, there was a B, an O, an L, a T, and you may have heard this before. Maybe you've done this exercise. I wanted to do this with you guys so you can understand how it relates to you as not only a customer, but how you see yourself in your prospects that come in. So we're going to talk about the four types of buyers, the BOLT system. So the BOLT system was created by Charles Clark. It helps people in sales know how to easily adapt to their customers based on personality traits they express. So as you've already guessed, I'm sure a lot of you even Googled it. um, BOLT stands for bull, owl, lamb, and tiger. No, I'm not in a zoo today. I'm in the office, but I wanted us to go over these particular types of buyers and how it relates to the prospect world and leasing, and how we can easily adapt to changing our approach with each one. All right, so the first one we're going to talk about it actually is the bull. So if you have the highest number of point value under the B section, then sir or ma'am, you are a bull. So let's talk a little about the bull. We actually get a lot of these callers all the time. If you're a leasing agent that's been doing this for a while, then you are already fond and used to these particular types of buyers. The bull are usually very quick to ask what the price is. They don't like our spiel. They don't like the whole sales approach and the perkiness and like, hey, how's it going today? And this is a great day today. And what are you looking for? And that building rapport process. They're actually not fond of small talk. They're really hard to build rapport with at first. It can be a little off-putting and come across as rude at times. So sometimes, as leasing agents, when we answer a phone call and we get the bull, um, we kind of shut down, and we kind of go backwards in our approach with building rapport and our sales, and we kind of get off of our game. So the reason why we're doing this is you can also understand how to approach the bull, how you will not take it personally, and how you'll say, okay, that's just his personality type. It's nothing against me. It's nothing against me as a leasing agent. Let me see what I need to do to reapproach this to get the information I need to create a guest card, to lease over the phone, to get them in for an appointment, and at the end, to build rapport. So the four types of buyers, the first one, the bull. All right, so the bull, to sum up the bull, they like the bottom line. They want to get straight to the point. They want to get that price. They want to get what we have available now. They don't want all the oh, well, when do you look to move and buy? What preferences do you have? And so on. They want that price right away. They're fast to make up their mind. They're fast paced. They have extreme presence. So usually these are people that are pretty bold, pretty blunt, usually pretty stern, somewhat humorless at first. They like to have results. Usually need to control the situation. So these are those callers that we get that you feel like they're controlling the call, but we'll learn that we let them control the call. Well, actually, we let them feel they're controlling the call, but we actually still have control of the call. They're not afraid to object or challenge you. So these are the ones you have to be on your game. You have to know your product. You have to be ready for any questions um, whenever it comes to any objections and be able to overcome them. So with the bull, business first type mentality. And then after they get the business stuff out of the way, then they're pretty social. They're pretty fun people. I just talk about how to deal with the bull. All right, when it comes to a bull, we want to make sure that we are, one, always creating a full guest card. So that could be um, their name, last name unknown, but we are making sure that we get that phone number and marketing source and creating a guest card in the system, not to also track the marketing dollars. But when you're handling a bull, don't give up. Give straightforward answers. Their time is valuable. Watch out for the dead air. Keeping them on hold too long to find an answer. So when it comes to a bull, sometimes they seem like they're rude, but they're not. And we think they are. So we stop building any rapport. So we have a lot of dead air. So we need to make sure that we're filling that dead air either with answers or letting them speak so they're not waiting for you to get to a solution. Give key information, and you need to be direct with your questions. So, just some examples. All right, sir, in order to get you to quote the correct price for the date of move-in, what is the date you had in mind for the one bedroom? Our prices do change based on the move-in date. So I didn't give any fluff. I didn't say, okay, well, do you need this? Do you need this? Are you a big cooker? Do you need a really big kitchen? Do you work out it all out? Do you know the area? I'm not asking the usual questions that I would on a report with the bull because they don't want to answer those. They just want the price of the one bedroom right now for this movie date. So you have to be a little more direct with your questions. Um, you can still narrow down their preferences and give a value before you give a price for the bull. So another example. All right. To narrow down the apartment style, did you have a specific need or want for this apartment? For example, a floor level. We have a couple of these on the first, third, and fourth. Did you have a preference that way I can just look at those particular pricing? So by doing that, I'm not giving fluff. I'm not being overly sales with my approach. I'm asking what their need is and being very direct. Once they give me, yeah, I need a one bedroom on the first floor. Okay. Perfect. All right, let me look right now and see what we have available for your time frame. I do have a one bedroom on the first floor. This one actually does have an extended garage, so there's a lot of space in there for you, and it does come with um, a huge bedroom, so you can actually accommodate a king size bed if needed. All right, this one's going for 1890 at this time on the date you're looking for. Will that work for you? So, by what I just did there, I asked his preferences a little earlier. I gave him his answer and I created a value for that price before I even gave the price. So, that's still possible. Do not go into too much detail on presentation or rapport building. Hit the important sections, answer their questions. Do not hold the price hostage. So, this happens, from time to time where we do get individuals that I hear on the calls. They're like, well, sir, I can't give you that price until we create a guest card. You're going to lose your prospect right there on the line. So you want to make sure that we are always um, answering their questions and we do not hold the price hostage. Like I said, you can always create value before giving a price. After the questions have been answered and they're content with their questions, start to build rapport. So after you ask them, will this work for you? They say, yeah, you know what, that actually work for you. Perfect. So you know what, I think this is the best place for you. So let's set an appointment. Are you free to come in this Saturday at 11 o'clock? Yeah, I'm good this Saturday. Okay, great. All right, business is done. We have the appointment set. We have the price set. He is comfortable, or he or she is comfortable with what we just gave them. Now you can start being friendly. Now you can build that rapport. All right, so I'm setting this appointment. So, Mr. Jones, I'm just curious, what's bringing you to the area? Are you going to work nearby? And go from there. So demonstrate how our community is the best choice to meet their needs. So with the bull, you're going to have to overcome objections. You're going to have to be straightforward. You're going to have to watch out for the dead air and stick to business. And then they're ready to go with the rapport building. All right, let's go on to the next. All right, this next one, the owl. So owls are very detail-oriented and observant. They're very time conscious and at times early to their appointments. They take the time to make decisions. They don't just make up their mind right away. These are people that have done their homework. They've already looked at a lot of different competitors of yours, and they know your competitors because maybe they've already researched them, called them, or visited. So make sure you know your competitors. They do not like big gimmicks, overexcitement when it comes to sales. They don't need you coming out and ringing a bell or coming out in a costume or being overly perky at times. They're just kind of wanting to get to the point as well. They're note takers. They'll usually write down all the answers to the questions asked. Especially when it comes to our prospects, you'll see some with our brochure and they're writing every single thing down. You may even see the highlighter come out and you'll see the big star they're putting next to a certain price or floor plan. Even though you are emailing them a quote, they're still writing every single thing down. So you're going to kind of be able to tell who an owl is just by the actions they take. So an owl, business first and social. Owls like order. They're usually very neat. Commonly like to be alone. Security is more important than the bells and the whistles. So you may have the security question come up. So, how safe is this community? Over stuff like that is what are the what's it like here? Is it quiet at night? Over what the apartment has to offer. Owls tend to think more than talk. All right, let's talk about how to handle an owl. All right, so how to handle an owl. Be detailed in explaining the application process. They're going to want to ask you 50 questions on what they need to do in this process. So be very thorough in how you explain it and what they need to do apply online, how long a quote is good for, how much each cost is, and the lease signing process. So have you ever had those individuals where you didn't tell me this? You didn't let me know about this. You didn't let me know the lease is only good for 24 hours or my special is only good for 24 hours after I'm approved. So it's very important with an owl to make sure that you are giving them the time. Do not rush this at all. Be good at explaining everything with them. Recap requirements, rental criteria, put the information in writing. Even if you have to, even though we're paperless, print the quote out, staple it to their floor plan, highlight stuff on the quote sheet so they don't have to ask again. That way you know that they actually see it. It's important to know your product on the phone and tour. Your knowledge will get tested with an owl. If you do not know the answer to a question, let them know, you know what, I will find that answer out for you. As long as you're at least giving them some type of solution that you're actually going to give them a solution other than I don't know, then an owl will be satisfied. You will need to be patient with an owl. It takes time for them to make a decision. So with an owl, if you have someone that you feel like it's going to take a little while to make up their mind, you're not going to overly pressure them. You're not going to overly follow up with them. You're going to do the exact protocol of what we usually do, but don't send them a text message every 30 minutes to an hour to make sure that they haven't made up their mind yet. They're still deciding. The next one, the lamb. I'm curious to see how many of you guys actually got the lamb. All right. So this buyer is one that will call or email you the next day needing reassurance as they rented the right if they rented the right apartment. So think of a friend who you have that you have to coddle all the time. This is your lamb buyer. All right. So lamb, they're slow to decide, often ever changing their mind. They usually have like buyer's remorse. So like once they've rented their apartment or they've did their application, now they're emailing you. Are you sure I get the wrong one? Oh, I don't know if this is the right fit for me. I'm still concerned. I don't know the area. Buyer's remorse sets into their mind really quickly. Lambs appear nervous, emotional, anxious, or uncomfortable. The search for an apartment can usually cause a lamb great stress. This is when your empathy comes in. This is when you have to come through and change your approach up. A lamb is hesitant to interact with you and your product. Security is very important for a lamb over the bells and whistles, over what the amenities the property has to offer. When working with the lamb, you should be extremely supportive and understanding. Help to ease a lamb by emphasizing that you intend to make things as easy as possible. All right, so this is how you handle the lamb. Handling the lamb is building that rapport and trust. People want to buy and do business with other people that they trust. So a lamb is going to be a really big one when it comes to this. Spend time with being friendly and building a relationship. Do not crush the customer experience. Rush. Don't rush the customer experience. Give them time. Give them time to let you know how they feel about this and how we can help them feel comfortable about it. Emphasize on how we met their needs and wants. So sometimes you have to reiterate those and make sure that they didn't forget that. Show more than one option. Lambs are likely to ask for a recommendation. So if a lamb can't make a decision on one particular floor plan, then give them another option. Or if they're still kind of iffy on this one, then say, you know what, I may have one with a better view that may be something that you might find a little more that fits your needs, and show them where it's at on the map. And if that works for them, then go take them on a tour. Expect lots of communication from a lam on questions needing reassurance. So we've had those people where we've leased to them. They're already approved. They signed their lease, and they don't move in until another month. But we're getting calls from them every week because this question came up. This question came up. They're trying to figure out if they made the right decision, and they need that reassurance. So expect to coddle a lamb a lot. Stress that the community is comfortable, it's friendly, it's peaceful, it's a peaceful environment. If you notice, I didn't say anything about safe. Remember, we do not ever say that a property is safe because we cannot guarantee safety. But you can say that a community is comfortable, that it's friendly, that it's a peaceful environment. So you'll need to encourage the lamb to make a decision. So with the lamb, this is where you're going to want to do your follow-ups. A follow-up to make sure, hey, just wanted to check in with you, see if you needed any assistance filling out your application. Hey, I just wanted to check in with you to see if you had any questions with setting up your utilities or renter's insurance. That way, they're set to committing to this decision, and they have you holding their hand each step of the way. All right, last but not least, I think this is a lot of us, the tiger. So tigers are energetic, they're expressive and talkative. They can be loud, funny, and use a variety of body language. Tigers are very social and may bring a family member or a friend along for the tour. Um, they're really proud of what they're doing. They're proud of like showing off where they may live at. They like the prestigeness of it. Um, they are highly interactive with you, the leasing agent, and throughout the tour. So these are the ones that we actually love having sometimes because they're fun. They make the tour fun. They make you feel comfortable. You feel like you just met a friend. So with the tiger, you want to make sure that um, you don't go too much into details with them because that's the last thing on their mind. They're really fast to make a decision. They're often sometimes late to an appointment. Bells and whistles and prestige lifestyle is more important than security. So what the apartment looks like, what it has to offer, how fancy it is, how beautiful it is more important on what they can post on their Instagram or their Facebook over how safe they may think it is. And they like a challenge. So with a tiger, social first, then business. So when I say social, be friendly, be hyper, match their tone and pace, build that rapport, make them feel like it's all about them. So social first, then business. All right. So handling the tiger, I don't mean like handling a real tiger. I mean like handling a tiger on your tour, this type of personality type. Utilize your time to build rapport, being friendly, building a relationship. Do not speed through the sales process. Give them your time. Slow it down. Make the tour fun and exciting. Keep them engaged. So, side note, we should always make a tour fun and exciting. We should always be friendly and build rapport and give our people our time. So, kind of like a lot of the dynamics of how we handle tigers, how we should handle everybody. But depending on if we have a bull or an owl, there's some that we have to reel it back a little bit. So, FYI. Okay. Side note taken. Now we're back in. All right. Make sure to emphasize on their hot buttons and what we have to offer. So recap their needs, wants, how we met them. And remember, we have to ask what their needs and wants are in order for you to recap that we met them. Let the tiger talk. They usually like to talk about themselves. Let them listen as you build rapport. Use a lot of open-ended questions with the tiger. A tiger loves to hear themselves speak. So, that's going to help you in the long run because you're going to not only build their trust and that rapport, but you're going to learn more about what they're looking for and what's important to them in an apartment and maybe what they didn't like about their old apartment. So that could be something you could use as something to overcome an objection. All right, pay attention to how they feel about the community instead of facts and details. Provide a strong incentive and special for them to take action. So they like to feel like they're getting wined and dined and willed and dealed. So make sure that you offer a good closing tool with them. Follow up regularly with the tiger to make sure they do not cancel. Use phone over email. Thank the tiger for making your property their new home, and you'll surely get a good review.